All right, folks, we're back, and we got a friendly face joining us. You might not know who he is. He's trying to show you something. Let me make your camera bigger.
Why do you have two Partoofs?
Because he's
Who
super
goofed
special.
up?
Nobody goofed up. This was an on-purpose thing. So Terminator is showing off his Partoofs because he's a fucking dork. I'm just kidding. I love you, man. Terminator is one of my Patreons, and for those who don't know, once a month, one of my Patreons can choose any best of 3 or best of 5 or whatever that we're casting to come join and sit in on. He did this earlier and got totally screwed because the series lasted like 5 minutes, so we're giving him kind of a do-over with this. So he's just going to kind of chill in the background and watch this best of 3 because he's got to take off, or I guess he'd stay for longer. But he has 2 Partoofs, and he's one of the few people in the world that have these Partoofs, because you know what? He was really generous the other day on stream. We wanted to send him a special care package, and if you guys look at the top of the stream, he is the gentleman that's been pinned with the most bits. We thought giving him a little bit of extra love. Did you get? Was everything intact when it got to you, by the way, the package? I tried to send you a little bit of everything. No, Zombie Grub. I told you what I needed to talk about. We are not starting this game just yet. I have a very important issue that needs to be brought up. So I asked in chat and I asked on the cast, guys, please, if you believe in Bigfoot, retweet this tweet. And lo and behold, only 3 people have retweeted this tweet. I don't want to live in a world where only 3 people believe in Bigfoot. So please, fam, if not a retweet, at least a like. We need to show the world that it's real. We can go, by the way. We need to show and prove the world that the government cannot hide Bigfoot. StarCraft tried to give us a hint. All right? We figured it out. Now we just need to share it with the rest of the world.
I'm so glad that didn't overlap the amazing intro screen we have right here. That would have been devastating.
This is
really devastating.
I told you this was important to me.
Yeah, you did. But then you also spent like 2 minutes talking about Terminator. So I thought, you know, I wouldn't want to keep up the lobby that much.
What if Terminator is Bigfoot, and that's why I was talking about him?
Is this the part where I bring up like everyone blames Rifkin for distracting a cat? No, I'm just kidding. Or am I?
All right, folks. Silliness aside, we are getting into game number 1. It's a best of 3 here in the semifinals for the Corsair. Nope, for the BTSL. It's worth noting that this is the last chance for folks to qualify. There's up to $200 in prizing up for grabs today, thanks to our combination of sponsors through Twitch as well as Matcherino. We're at $170 raised. There's still like at least 30 codes to be used. In fact, there's definitely more than that because Kruger sent through in some bucks. So please do us a favor, guys. Head on over to the Matcherino page. Use the code BTSL1, or excuse me, BTSL3. And you'll add $1 to the prize pool. Won't cost you a thing. You won't have to enter any payment information. It's super easy, and it gives the players more money because we aren't taking a cut from this. It's all going to the players. So that spiel being said, thank you guys for using Matcherino. And the bottom left, he stays at home in a TvT. It would appear it's the blue Terran GuMiho.
In the bottom right is the red Terran. He is alive. My insanity.
Also, Thermator, do me a favor, mute your mic if you haven't already, friendo. I would appreciate that. Thank you. So aLive has been rising the ranks, I think it's safe to say. He's certainly gone from our mediocre Corsair Cup grinder to being like GSL, like Super Tournament finalists, doing really well in any group stage he's put into recently. I don't know there's a matchup that aLive is particularly bad at. There's just players that are better than aLive.
TVP. I think there's an argument there. So.
I would be actually on board with this if it was pre-patch still, but we've actually seen quite a few people, let's say, overcome the adversity of Adepts.
That is true. I think we've seen aLive face of Protoss once. I feel like it's very familiar in my mind for some reason since the nerf, but I'm not 100% sure about that. And we might see it in the finals to be really sure because, yeah, it was GuMiho versus Hero and SSL, or, no, it was like the Super Tournament. It was something, right? And then we saw him again as a rematch in one of the BTSLs, or whatever else we did that was Korean themed. But the point is, they definitely played more than once, and it'd be cool to see them in the finals again if it does go that path, as Hero is waiting in the other semifinals.
Yeah.
That's still a ways to come. But the point is, aLive did have a weakness.
He'll be playing against Hurricane, actually. So this is guaranteed TVP finals, and that's awesome.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah, I guess they just it's updated.
Woo! Gets the SCV kill. What a savage monster. And then gets
only after the command center finished. Not nearly as dramatic, but if it provided even a second of high ground, that could have been a little more useful. But a Cyclone pops out anyways.
Yeah, those Reapers, I think, contemplated trying to throw some grenades its way, but it was just not going to work out. So, as he pulls back, this is not so dedicated out of aLive that he's SOL, but it is worth noting that he doesn't really have a command center down. So, as he continues to follow up, I guess, with the one base... Oh, there we go. This one comes down now.
Oh.
That's going to sting. It's still the fact that he has to do some damage coming out of this. Like, GuMiho and him are matched for workers right now. That's not going to be the case for long. With his own CC being stalled out, GuMiho's already becoming an orbital. aLive's going to start falling behind in money. There's no doubt about it.
Well, that is where you still have to do more damage with the one base build, and that is usually where pro gamers shine, and why TvT still has staple one base openers, because they don't fall out too badly, and they usually do get some amount of damage, whether that's the initial Reaper, something like the command center, which it did not do, or Raven harassment later, or an army push, like something or whatever, right? It does tend to even out, or alternatively a faster third CC. We're still waiting on to see what exactly aLive has planned for the follow-up, because if he doesn't do any more damage, then he knows, played enough TvTs, I think, to know that he would be just behind in that orbital. I think these guys play a lot of TvTs. I think it's
well, I mean, just generally speaking, Korea for, I want to say the last 4 or 5 months has been all about TvTs.
Well, I think longer than that, actually.
Well, yeah.
The aLive League, from start to finish, has been all about TvTs, but yeah.
The TvT League.
It kind of, yeah.
Oh, hey. A donation comes in from Zabaldon. It's a small addition to the prize pool. Ooh, we'll talk about that in a moment, actually. Thank you very much. Medevac decides to boost on back towards the main. There's been a lot of distraction, though. These Ravens just don't have the energy to throw down infinite turrets, so not able to catch one, but catches the other. Looks like tanks at home should be able to keep this one getting too out of hand.
That was a really nice repair in that one tank that GuMiho wisely tried to drop on, but the other one also followed up, and that was pretty perfect. Just going to use the splash against his opponent, though. That's pretty cool. A lot of these SBs were very low. That
was clever. And the thing is, you're seeing this reflected in aLive's supply pretty badly. Like, we knew there was going to be a bit of a worker disparity because of the command centers, but 11 kills on top of that now puts the worker count 41 to 24.
Yeah, this is pretty bad. aLive not getting any real benefits here. He hasn't gotten any faster stim. He doesn't have a bigger army. He does have air control, which can never be like undervalued, but it's gonna be a tough road ahead for aLive.
Yeah. So to talk about Zabaldon real quick, if you guys donate money to our channel here on Twitch, it's actually going to a different type of fundraiser. So you have to actually donate money on the Matcherino prize pool page if you want to add money to that prize pool. But the $5 will go to another one called the Mega Tournament Fundraiser. It's something we're doing on the side and in the background. So Zabaldon, your money will still go towards players at the end of the day, just not the ones playing today. So if you guys want to donate to the prize pool directly, make sure to go to the Matcherino page to do it. But your sentiment and the idea is saluted.
Yeah, saluted. I know how to do a correct salute. You can't question that.
How do you mess up a salute? It's like high-fiving it's karate chop high-fiving your head.
Well, there's actually an official way to do a salute. Like, people will like note improper ways in movies and how like badly they did research.
Okay.
Anyways,
we'll talk about this later. Auto turrets come down and should break the top of the ramp, but I thought for a moment GuMiho was going to demolish the backside of the army. It looks like, yep, that ends up being what happens.
Yeah, and that was kind of aLive's last chance here. He's gonna scout here, basically with this Viking hit squad that all the tech labs are researching. There's still a lot more army, and that he's just late to production. He's late to, of course, economy, and being down still 16 workers.
By the way, the Bigfoot tweet has 6 retweets, 9 likes, and nobody else touched that thing.
When you do multiple tweets, there is a less there's less chance. So that's gonna be retweeted. I'm sorry.
No, I don't want anyone to touch it. 69 is the perfect number.
Well, that's just a bait. Someone's gonna touch it. Like I almost did, but I realized I was a bait. I'm just gonna let someone else be baited.
You baited. All right. Well, the attack comes in, and this might just be. It might not even be the killing blow in terms of like this is where aLive taps out, but GuMiho doesn't even have to cause that much damage to really nail the coffin, right? And he is going to cause damage here. Some Marines drop along the backside. This may or may not get cleaned up, but he kills SCVs in the process. Drops here to the main. These SCVs are still low from earlier.
He's gonna get a tank. Oh god, it was so close.
Is he though, zombie grub?
Almost. A lot of SCVs.
Oh,
a lot of
combat
shit he's
shields.
pretty dead.
Yeah, it's combat shields versus no combat shields.
Yeah,
+1 versus no +1. He's scanning. He's looking. He's like, what's going on?
Tank. Yeah, he misses the third though. That is just about finished at the other base. So he still thinks that he somehow has a chance here, but it's not.
But so this goes back to my point where GuMiho didn't have to cause a lot of damage to essentially nail the coffin, and now aLive is, for lack of a better phrase, like on borrowed time. There's very small chance GuMiho does something silly like fly all of his medevacs fully loaded units into the Marines, but there's a chance. There's always a chance.
Even then, I think his production would be able to remake an army fast enough. Like it would have to be that first, and then maybe something else. It's quite a big difference, especially with that combat shield still missing. aLive only just started that. No upgrades. It is better to prioritize that combat shields. That sucks not to have either.
That is going to drag and
being a
drop.
mistake.
I think he's just trying to get a range of the tank. Yeah, and now he'll be in range of the reactors and tech labs, which finally is going to coax out that GG. Well, the camera's going to be messed up, so enjoy this. Yeah, we got Terminator's head. Oh, man, that looks stupid. Let's fix that. Not that your head looks stupid, sorry. That's gonna mean.
I got what you mean.
Alright. Terminator can just kind of chill in the background. There we go. Do you want to do an intro for the next game, dude?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. We had some claps come in, though, so I think it was another donation. Zampledon, $5 says, it doesn't matter how you spend this money. I've added this message just for fun. Well, thank you very much, man. But just so you and everyone else are aware, we're still taking pledges to the Mega Tournament fundraiser. We're getting closer to $8,000 raised for that tournament through combination stream donations and folks actually donating through Match Arena themselves. At this rate, the momentum certainly has fallen off a bit. And whether we get close to our 30,000 goal or not by the end of it, we're still going to have a hell of a great event. There's no doubt about it. Because don't forget, we've got the 30K. Once we get the money back from the Korea House, we've got that tournament money. All this fundraiser stuff is supposed to supplement the players, supplement the prize pool, make things better, more fun, etc. But anyways, do we know game number 2?
Thistle Reef.
Okay.
Thistle Reef. Yeah, okay. And they're ready to go.
Awesome. Also, for today's prize pool, we are now up to, what is this, $183. That's awesome. Again, Darius has been spamming it in chat. Thank you, Darius, by the way, for helping facilitate it. But, yeah, the BTSL code. We're going to just keep driving it in. It's going to be annoying, but once we use up all the codes, we won't talk about it again, and boom, players will have a nice $200 prize pool to look forward to. That being said...
You heard that first. $200 to shut us up.
Pretty much. Well, the other thing that's nice about it is normally, for those who don't know, the BTSL actually only had a first and second place prize. This has allowed us to kind of sprinkle in a third and fourth place. $100 for first, $50 for second, and $25 for third and fourth. And again, players get all the money, so more power to them. Head over to Match Arena. But of course, if you want to support us for our other sponsor, Twitch, they saw us do Make Korea Great Again. They loved it. They bought it, essentially, and they sponsored it. So that's how we have this awesome weekly event. But Terminator, man, hit me up with an intro on the dude in the red pants.
All right. In the top left corner, from Dopin, aLive.
No, my friend. Let's rewind and redo this. First off, I want more gusto.
Right.
Secondly, he's on my insanity.
Oh, okay. Alright. In the red Terran in the top left corner from My Insanity, aLive.
Yeah, we'll accept it. Well done.
I'm pretty sure he agreed to do an intro based off the idea that you wouldn't critique it. Good God, Rifkin.
Oh, if Terminator
Bottom
thinks
right.
I'm not gonna give him shit, then he's in the wrong neighborhood.
That is so mean, man. That is so mean. The bottom right is a blue Terran. He is GuMiho.
Big love to Terminator.
No,
All right.
Terminator, just tell him to fuck.
No, this isn't like an instance where Scarlet, where he's some innocent little fragile flower who's never learned to tell somebody else off. Terminator's a man. He knows how to get things done. And he's not just a man, he's a man's man. So I'm gonna go with at least. Anyways, yeah, again, if you guys don't know the voice hanging out in the background, he is one of the Patreons, and he's enjoying the reward of hanging out in the cast for one best of series with us. But GuMiho sends an SCV up to the top side of the map, and while I thought maybe his days of proxying were done, and he played a really good game without depending on it, he just can't stay away from that crack cocaine. And a starport looks like it's going to be on the menu.
Just like Rifkin, who didn't do many drugs at all.
Can you hear the air blowing out of my nose a little bit harder than average?
Yeah, I appreciate it. I thought it was a funny joke as well. So the starport proxy is a little funny, but it is a very large map otherwise, so it might just be worth that little extra 20-second bump to the timing. They both are going for one base, and aLive, I mean, if things really went well for him, might be able to scout the lack of a starport and just start scratching his head, but it's pretty unlikely. They usually just meet in the middle and then leave.
Bit of like what we're seeing here. The Reaper fight gets a bit awkward, but Terminator's got to tap out. Big love to him. He's going to take off a bit early, but anyways, well, this...
Gotta do manly things.
He's probably going to go lift some weights and maybe save some babies from an orphanage that's on fire. If I had to guess, he's that kind of stand-up dude. But anyways, Liberator is what's coming out of the proxy. And this is going to be really interesting, because typically you don't have that great of anti-air early on as Terran. Nobody really rushes out that Viking so blindly. But it is going to be at least an auto turret and at least a bit of anti-air through the Cyclone. So it's not like this Liberator will get away with everything for free. But I'm worried it might be like, oh, you're so busy cleaning up what's in the back of the base, you miss what's at the front.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea. I mean, Liberator really just by itself is usually not too much of a threat. Pull the SCVs, get the Marines over there, but double-pronged attack might make it pretty brutal. Or alternatively, if aLive was a little more aggressive, that also would make it very brutal, but he is being purely defensive. And I think he should be fine, actually. Like, the fact that he has this wall to really fall back on, and there's no Cyclone for GuMiho to really tear it down too quickly means it should be responded to.
Okay, so Liberator catches the attention of aLive. This lets GuMiho get to the top of the ramp and kill the SCV building the command center. He's not quite broken into the base yet, but I think 2 Cyclones and a Raven guarantees that this isn't going to go too much further. He's did some decent damage, though, and kind of, in a weird way, caught him up, what with the command center being stalled out the way it has been.
High ground, CV loss, like some good damage from GuMiho. He's just happy containing his opponent. I mean, the time should pass eventually without an auto turret. With another auto turret, I actually don't think he can break it with that one. But it's a lot of time. GuMiho now feels very comfortable. Feels very in control.
I'm sorry, I'm getting missed in chat here. Are people like upset because I was joking around with Terminator because he's a friend?
No, there's been an ongoing conversation that basically boils down to making fun of someone who doesn't support the channel monetarily, which is not cool. So
you know what? That's the problem when. You know what? We'll get into it after. We got a really cool game in here. Cyclones are going to trade as best they can, but auto turrets kind of like backstabbing into them, and they are going to take them out. There is, of course, auto turrets that hit the main, however, and aLive may have done some good damage to the army, but he took some damage economically behind this. And if those Reapers actually get back and block out the command center, that'd be amazing, but they're going to go to the main and look for a couple more CV kills. So the question is, while this goes on, will GuMiho lose too much at home? He doesn't really have a tank. The bunker's not finished. There's a chance he could just die to the attack coming from aLive.
There is that chance, and that's something that aLive really has to hope for, to be honest. Miziao has fallen down quite a lot in the economy once again in this game.
Yeah, the bunker's
But it looks like it might just be it. Like, down 12 army supply, and just not with a lot of, like, good army supply either. Like, no single tank to help him out here.
Yeah, actually,
Just figure
well, you know
numbers.
what? GuMiho just giving away a cyclone like that is actually a lot, or excuse me, aLive giving away a cyclone like that is a lot of power taken away from this attack now. Looks like there's not much going on elsewhere. The starport's still coming home. Auto turret's back in the main, kill some more SCVs, but goes for the break. SCVs pulled at the front lines. Auto turrets are doing a great job here, but it's still 1 cyclone to 2. Viking, of course, does a lot of damage to bonus mechanical, which is that cyclone. GuMiho's gonna hold, but it's oh so barely.
Barely. Yeah. It's funny though. It really does even up the game. Like they evened up. Well, aLive has I guess a couple SCVs ahead, so maybe he still got a lead from it. But like their sims are very close. They both finished up production, I think. Maybe actually GuMiho was late to his like add-ons, but still stem in production. And I think GuMiho has like the slightest army supply lead to kind of like make up for the slightest SCV lead. So I'm curious to how this game is gonna go.
Well, I will say GuMiho, I thought was in a lot more trouble than he was. And today we already got cool stuff going on through the tank pickup micro he did versus Protoss, the sort of like SCV pull / attack that he just had in the defense. I gotta give it to GuMiho. All around, I think he's playing really exceptional today. But yeah, he's not won this yet. He's up 1-0 in the series, which is always good, I suppose. And of course, thank you to the folks coming in with some bits. We do appreciate you. Also, CryoFlux hit us up with a brand new sub. And then we missed, who's this? Gooch and Devin Wolf dethroning the bit bosses.
Nice. So, GuMiho was late to one thing, and that was Engineering Bay. Didn't realize that, so his +1's going to be quite late. Bit of a lead in the combat shields, but not enough to be substantial, and he doesn't feel... he probably doesn't feel confident enough either to move out. I mean, the medevac's out and a tank's about to pop out too, but aLive is once again the one being aggressive here. GuMiho decides to lift with both medevacs, and he knows the attack is on the way, so I was going to say, I don't think you should drop, but trying to meet it head on, because you might have more Marines, is not a bad idea whatsoever against someone who has the tanks. You let them get in position, and you're actually dead, so this is a much better move. But tanks plus auto turrets.
Well, that's what I like, actually. He baited out the auto turrets, so that's not going to be here for breaking the top of the ramp, and it's the auto turrets that really break the tank, not like tanks and Marines dropping, right? But positioning here is not bad for aLive. This is a really precarious spot to be in.
I think the auto turret bait was good, but ideally this just stopped this attack in its tracks. Because GuMiho is missing Vikings, although he's getting some now, and that will help too, but he was missing Vikings, and he did have a larger Marine count, so that was a good idea to try and concave. And it was almost too with the combat shields was not combat shields. Like that would have been absolutely perfect, but... Vikings are out. Take out the Raven, actually. Very nicely done. And now going to be able to take out the medevacs, too. So aLive is actually just losing units here. Shouldn't do that.
This is what I was scared of. This is what I was looking over to the right side for. 2 medevacs pass by. You just unload 1 Marine. It would cancel it out, but it just goes straight to the main. Auto turret harass on the other side of the map is not going to be the same as 2 fully powered drops. Tank's in an okay spot, but as we can see, the Marines are just getting choked in. That's that focus fire.
Yeah. I wonder... Repairing the tank probably would have been a little bit better, because Marines are just in a bad spot, but... Okay, lost his medevacs, lost the drop without dealing too much damage. I mean, aLive's down, actually, by 2 workers here, and the 3rd CC is still along. It's progressing, so he's still working on it.
I guess...
Actually, I think GuMiho just got, like, a big lead from that. That was a double gaff, I think, on aLive's part.
Well, so there's... It's weird that it's a lead in a way, but aLive actually has better tech right now, so if he presses the issue right now... he may be able to take a really good fight for it, but what's that, about 20 seconds from now is when +1 will finish up, and then GuMiho will be on even fighting form once again. I'll catch some of the tanks in the middle. The Cyclone's going to be really nice for this, but he has to fall back. Ooh, God, tanks do a lot of damage.
They do. +1 is just about to finish. GuMiho takes the fight a little prematurely, though, and is going to lose that tank for it. Probably would have lost it anyways. But a drop... not natural. Got a lot of workers are alive. aLive's going real all in at this point. I think entirely out of his main base as well.
I guess with the amount of harassers to go down elsewhere, like, sorry guys, I've been really focused on watching GuMiho because once this breaks, there's nothing for aLive, and that is going to be game. And more importantly, the series. Also,
GuMiho. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I'll talk after. It's nonsense.
All right. Well, I was just saying GuMiho was gonna. I would put GuMiho ahead in TvT versus aLive. I don't actually know their head-to-head scores literally, but it does seem that whenever they match up, GuMiho gets the better end. And just in general, I think his TvT is better.
Yeah,
but the 2-0 aLive was not what I was expecting.
I still think the GuMiho and aLive series at Ting was like one of the best ones we'll have ever seen type thing. I was just going to mention though, first off, thank you Nexikuro for the 400 bits. Now the bit boss. But we also have a Vinny Vidivici in chat, and this guy actually I want to give a shout out because not a lot of people will do this. He likes to give bits to Nate and cheer, and he's a good guy and all this. But I was playing Battlegrounds with Nate, and I wasn't like begging for bits or anything, but he took the time to come to my channel and throw a couple bits my way and say spreading the love. So I just want to give a big thank you because that's a real stand-up move to do. Not a lot of people will do that, and I appreciate it. It's good to see good people. Anyways, we have the other semifinals set up. It's Hero versus Hurricane, so it's a PvP. And we'll see you guys in a couple minutes while we get the lobby set up.